And then there's Fiona O'Keeffe.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this.
We probably should talk about this.
Let's talk about this. Okay.
So
So you go. Unpack.
Well, O'Keeffe gets to the Olympics. We don't know this. We're not sure what's going on, but she might have an injury. And it's known enough for the alternate to be contacted by USATF, right? The alternate is the name escapes
Jessica
me right
McLain.
now. Jessica McLain. Thank you. So she's contacted, and so she flies to Paris and is told, you might have to run because someone might have an injury. While she's in Paris, the decision is reversed. She's told, actually, just have fun here. Our 3 runners who are expected to race are actually going to race. The race begins. Fiona O'Keeffe runs all of 2 kilometers at not race pace, easy pace, never a factor, doesn't go with the field or anything, drops out. And there we go. We have it. Only 2 Americans in the race. So you have to wonder what was going on there. Did she genuinely think that she would be able to run, and in her first couple steps she realized, okay, no, whatever I had gave out again and I have to drop out? Or was this more of a planned thing? Michael, we were talking about this before. Michael, you mentioned, is this like a contractual obligation that she needed to start the race to get a type of bonus? We don't know. We're just speculating right now. We're looking at early news, and there were news hits about how she started and stopped after 2K, but we don't know what's behind it. And you hope that it's not just one of those things of, hey, I made it to the Olympics. I want to say I'm an Olympian, and so I'm going to start this race, because at the end of the day, that doesn't mean much. And of course, the alternate is in Paris waiting, and she probably would have made it further than 2 kilometers. So
Yeah.
I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt, like you said, Alex. I mean, I would love to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, I really felt like I was in tip-top shape again. I went out for a run a couple of days earlier. I didn't feel any pain. If she is in fact injured, I felt ready to go. And then I just started out and I had this incredible pain. I knew I wasn't going to be able to make it. And why injure myself further but I would really, truly hope that it was that she felt wonderful and ready to go. And it wasn't one of the other alternatives. What about you, Michael? What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the idea of someone starting an Olympic marathon just so they can put it like underneath their email signature that they were an Olympian. I guess this gets into a philosophical existential debate about what an Olympian is. Are you an Olympian if you finish your event, you qualify for your event, but you're not able to race, but you're named to the Olympic team? If you're there and you start the event, but you don't finish your event, like, what is an Olympian? I'm sure Olympians have got strong feelings about this, but I don't love the idea of somebody, as I said, starting this race simply so they can check off a box in life. She's 26 years old, I believe. This would have been her second. Well, it was her second marathon she started. She obviously won her debut at the U.S. Olympic trials. Really bright future for her. I'd like to think that she's got more confidence in herself and her future abilities as an athlete than that. And so I will give her the benefit of the doubt on that. But at the same time, I think this boils down to, I'll just say it. It comes down to running kind of existing on 2 different planes at the same time. On the one hand, you've got this kind of like feel good, it's all about inspiration and positivity. And isn't it amazing that these people have just worked so hard and they've got here, and just getting to the start line is the victory, blah, 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 blah. And then you've got the professional elite, life or death, trying to eke it out as a professional athlete element of this sport that we've been talking about for the last 45 minutes, where there's a lot of women in this field trying to make a living running. And if you don't respect that, or you don't give someone else the opportunity to have success, I think that's a pretty selfish move, just to say that you ran an Olympic marathon or started an Olympic marathon. It doesn't count for much to run 2 kilometers at 4:30 pace, I would say. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh on her, and I obviously don't know the details of it. And maybe she was feeling amazing and was ready to go and put in a lot of work. I'm sure she did. But I do feel badly for Jessica McLain, who apparently got on a plane on Monday and flew for 10 hours to be there, and had been training all summer long to be ready for this, just in case. And is also somebody who was unattached. She was not a sponsored athlete. She did recently sign a deal with Brooks, apparently. So she is getting paid to run professionally as the fourth fastest woman in the United States as a marathoner, as far as qualifying for the Olympics went this year. But, there's an alternate reality. We talk about the multiverse. There's a reality in the multiverse right now where Jessica McLain started this marathon, and maybe there's a reality where she also placed really high and did really well and changed her life and her career. So,
you've been watching too much Dark Matter on Apple TV, Michael, have you?
You know what? I did start that series, and it's pretty good. I got to admit. Yeah, I thought you were going to say you're like an MCU guy, which I am not. So